Winner of the inaugural Truck of the Year Australasia in 2023, the K220 is a landmark model for Kenworth, an entirely different machine beneath a form factor that continues to acknowledge lineage on one hand, yet pokes the bear with the other. The dynamic line haul duo of Guy and Helen Knowles are a match made in highway heaven, and have lived and breathed their boutique Bounty Green trucking operation together for more than 3.5 decades. Their new Kenworth K220 was one of the first two to land on our fair shores. A validation unit, it sports the key K220 advancements. There's the new angular grille aligned to its T610 conventional stablemate and USA cousins, a new bumper, air suspended electrically tilted cab, hydraulic clutch, inner front wheel guards, new CAN bus multiplex wiring, a swanky new digital dash, and of course the aerodynamic sleeper cab profile minus the old Vista windows. Fleet number 83 will quickly become familiar on the lower North Island to Auckland line haul route via the National Park. It's the preferred Knowles transit passage. And like all Guy Knowles trucks, abundant practicality is overshadowed by spectacular. Inherently usable, this is a fleet that is designed in every detail by a trucker. The attention to detail is mesmerising. Painted tanks and visors, lights, stainless steel toolboxes and toolbox handles, and custom curtain designs on each one. This is the 15th K-model Kenworth to wear the Knowles livery, and the Bugs have held up their end of the deal admirably. Just fantastic. They've been a fantastic truck to me, every one of them. Kenworth were always an aspirational truck for me. This is the next level to the K200, and I thought that was pretty much spot on, explained Guy. Guy's not really a fan of the self-shifters, so you do have to be able to swing off a gear lever to work here. Look, the AMTs are really good now, I know that. A lot of it's just me, the era that I grew up in, and what it means to drive a truck. The Knowles relationship with Fruehawk New Zealand is probably the longest standing, and it's a zero hesitation answer when you mention preference for bodies and trailers. One of the 220's real features is the cab air suspension. K220 Air has raised the bar significantly. This Kenworth has an entirely different ride and suspends the lateral movement, not just the up and down and fore and aft. However, there is no hint of laziness, and when at the helm, road feel is rail-like through the bend, as you'd expect and hope. It's probably the quietest Kenworth ever also, with a decibel reading in the low 70s. And like so many, we were shocked to hear the Vista windows had gone from the Aero roof and the name Aerodyne was consigned to history. Yet, 4 hours into the 220 and we were converted. The increased room immediately above the driver and passenger is hugely evident, as is the ambient natural coolness in the cab. Even though improved insulation is one of the 100 changes in the K220, the heat and cold those windows allowed in and out is now apparent. However, the cab does still have some quirks that date it, namely legroom in the passenger footwell. The conductor is still sitting snug, but all that in mind, it's a lovely Kenworth place to be. The only thing that made us a little bit sad was the elimination of the optional kick in the top section of the steering column. And as for the dash that made the 15-inch configurable digital dash so appealing, a thing of beauty in terms of looks and use. And a few gauges in the wrap also, a nice touch and not out of place at all. Comfort food. Climate systems at work, big buttons, and a smart wheel that can now hold its head proud if you like smart wheels. All practical advances for workaday drivers. Oh, and you wouldn't buy a K model without platform mirrors, full stop. But the biggest test of any new Kenworth is presenting us with something new without losing its soul. The people who buy these things won't be hoodwinked by marketing piffle. They buy them in the belief that you'll pay a hefty sum, put them into horrific work in horrendous places, and it will do it for a decade or more, after which you'll still need to crack open the window just to shut the doors. The great news is, in the K220 they've made some pretty bold changes, the roof, the dash, things that were cultural components, and they've pulled it off. We've been given another K model that looks and feels like a K model if that's your jam, and for many it still is. And this one will likely take the K badge into a brave new world. Will this be the last incarnation of one of the great automotive legacies? Will the mood of the market finally shift? Like we've said a million times before about a million other things, only time will tell. But ain't this just the place to sit back and watch it all happen? To catch the full story on the new K220 Kenworth for Palmerston North Base Guy and Helen Knowles, then catch a copy of the February 2024 issue of New Zealand Trucking Magazine, or visit nztrucking.co.nz to read a digital copy. See the links below. Remember to hit those like and subscribe buttons for fresh content as we upload it for you. Have a great month out there and travel safe.